Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 has officially come out, and it is without a doubt the best game in the entire franchise by far. But the question arises, what's next? Will we meet another monster just like Catnap? Will Kissy Missy survive? And will we finally be able to fight the prototype in Chapter 4? All of these questions and more will be answered in this video. Also, at the end I have a massive theory that could predict how the rest of the game will go, so make sure to stick around not to miss that. But now on to the predictions. Firstly, let's start off with how I believe that the chapter is going to start. I think we are going to get off the elevator, and Poppy is going to explain to us what we need to do next. Then, we are going to figure out what we need to do in the chapter, and that will be the main course of the game. But where will we be? This is actually a pretty difficult question to answer because unlike last time, we have no real indication of any possible areas. But I might have a few ideas. Finally, after 3 chapters, we can actually find where everything is taking place. After all, we are on the 4th chapter, so assuming this game has 5 chapters, we are getting pretty close to the end. But I will touch more on the topic of locations later, as I have what I think is a good theory. About antagonists, I think our next one is going to be very different from the 3. While our current 3 antagonists have been slightly different, with Huggy just being a mindless monster, and Mommy Longlegs being more calculating, and Catnap being somewhere in between. One line from Poppy changes everything that we know about the future antagonist. During the game, she says Catnap is the final obstacle that the prototype has put in our way. This implies that the Chapter 4 antagonist is going to be very different than the first 3, assuming it is not the prototype himself, which I don't think it is because he is seeming to be the final boss of the game, so he would be in Chapter 5. Now, does Kissy Missy survive? I would say probably. Kissy seems to be strong, and she is definitely strong if she has the same characteristics as Huggy, which she likely does. And also, I don't think they would kill off a character as beloved as Kissy number 1-2 chapters after she is introduced. And 2, I don't think she would just vanish off-screen. With this in mind, she is likely alive and going to return in the future chapters. Another important thing I think we should touch is who really is the prototype. I honestly thought that the prototype would turn out to be Leave Pierre, but this theory was debunked in the Catnap VHS tape. This leaves 2 potential options, I think. Of course, there is Elliot Ludwig, but also from the Catnap VHS tape it could also be Dr. Sawyer in my opinion. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for, the ultimate showdown with the prototype. Will we finally have the chance to confront this menacing creation in Chapter 4? As I said earlier, I think he would be in Chapter 5 instead, as it would make sense. But moving on to locations, I have a massive theory that could explain how we are going to escape the factory and where we could be going in the future. I think we are going to go to the surface and finally find out what is going on in the innovation wing. But the question then would be how we would get to the surface. After all, in the game, we are really far underground. We jumped down a giant slide in Chapter 2, and we had a massive train crash after once again going very far down. As the game goes on, I think the answer to this question becomes more and more clear. It is the stairway to hell. I think this makes a lot of sense for 2 reasons. One is because hell is often described as being a place far underground, and we know that the stairway goes down because of no clipping. Second, as part of the ARG for Project Playtime / Chapter 3, we got a security camera feed showing what is most likely the stairway. I think we are going to go up and finally, after so long, see what is through some of the other doors in the lobby. Another option could be that we defeat the prototype in Chapter 5, but then we finally go up and learn what happened. Finally, I want to talk about the potential release date of this game. Chapter 2 took about 6.5 months to come out, and Chapter 3 took about 20 months. So logically, Chapter 4 will release in about 60 months or about 5 years. No, I'm just kidding. I honestly think the game would probably release sometime in mid to late 2025, with very early 2026 at the absolute latest. Although the developers have said some things on Discord about how some things for the chapter might already be planned, and with the increasing of the Mob Entertainment development team, the game could actually come out a lot sooner, with at the end of this year maybe being the best case scenario. However, these are just my theories for what I think will / could happen in the game for the next chapter and when it will be released. If you have your own theories, make sure to tell me in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. Bye.